So if you've been watching My Hero Academia Season 6, you know we're in the aftermath of the big war arc. And that's what I'm going to say really quick. Spoiler warning if you have not watched My Hero Academia Season 6, because we're going to be talking some heavy spoilers in this video, but the nutshell is that it's great. Go watch it. Because in this season, we're dealing with a lot of things that had been built up constantly. Shigaraki as a threat since the first season. Is Midoriya actually going to have his face-off with All for One, and Bakugou as a rival, and Endeavor becoming the #1 hero? Like, everything is being addressed in this single battle, and that's why it really needed to pay off, but did it. For me, the peak of My Hero Academia has always been Season 2, in which that was not only the tournament arc, because yes, tournaments are always great, but tournaments are only great when you care about the characters that are involved in them, and that's what makes them so great. But it was also the season we got to deal with the academia part of it. It was a sports festival. We got to see a cavalry race. We got to see a normal race. We got to see the aftermath of that in the class. Like, that's what made that season so great, is we were getting to know the characters. And now here we are 4 seasons later, where, in my opinion, the series has kind of been not going downhill, but just hasn't been as good since that point. But in this season, that might be challenged, because this battle is the first battle I have felt this tense watching since Attack on Titan Part 2 of Season 3. We have to be careful about saying those parts about Attack on Titan now, because that's just a thing. But without spoiling that show, the final battle of Season 3, basically, that was the last time. I think that was back in like 2019. It's been a long time. That's over 3 years. That's about 3 years ago. It's been a long time since I felt this tense during a fight. But freaking why? I was just telling you that tournament arcs, the reason why those are cool is not just because of the fights, but it's because you care about all the characters in that fight. And because of that, that's what makes Season 6 big war arc so intense, is because literally nearly every character you can think of is involved in this battle. And we need to address something before we move forward. As an anime-only watcher, there has been a lot of things that I have somewhat seen online, especially from manga readers, that are saying the animation for this season has been maybe dog shit, or just not good, or like it just should have been better kind of a thing because of how significant this is, which I can totally understand. I really can. I'm just going to tell you, as an anime-only watcher, though, I thought everything was great for similar reasons that I think Attack on Titan's 4th season is great. Yes, they switched studios to MAPPA. Yes, they are using a lot more CGI. Yes, the look is decently different because it's not WIT anymore. But the story and characters and tone is really the reason that is one of my greatest anime of all time. And that's how I'm feeling about this season of My Hero Academia. Story, tone, characters, pacing, that will always matter more to me than animation. Animation's just like that icing on the cake that's really great if you get it too. And obviously it's not terrible. So that being said, as an anime-only watcher, this was tense because there is a crap ton of characters that are at stake here. There is so much at stake with the season. This is the battle that has every hero leaving their cities in Japan, even the students having to go in and be a part of this mission. They are literally putting every single dang hero they can, throwing them at this mission because of how important it is, because they know if they succeed, then it's going to put a crap ton of villains in jail, whereas if the villains succeed here, well, they're going to wipe a lot of heroes out because they're all here. And because of the amount of cast that's involved in this season, there is a list of highlights from this war arc. Seriously, a freaking list that each could either have a little tiny YouTube short or a big video on. The season starts off right away with like a highlight of Kaminari, who's a character I've always liked. There's very few characters in My Hero Academia I dislike. Yes, even Grape Guy. But Kaminari just kind of kicks off the season by showing us that these students are going to be very involved in this mission and maybe have some highlight moments, and he has that. He has the very first one, and even look, a lot of people are like, is this the introduction of a ship between Kaminari and Earjack Girl? And I don't know if it's that, to be honest. Like, I'm sure that's what they want us to think and what the author wanted us to think, because close to his heart. But look, you can have friends that are very close to you in your heart. They don't have to be romantic. But I'll go for the romantic part. Hawk's betrayal, dude. Like, Hawk's betrayal following that, Twice's death. Those are two moments that really set the stage for this battle. And this is, again, something that happens right away at the start of it all that makes it so tense that you don't know emotionally what's going to happen stake-wise and physically what's going to happen stake-wise. The stakes are set in just this moment with Hawk and Twice. You feel Hawk's emotional betrayal to Twice because Twice is, yes, he's a villain. Yes, he makes a crap ton of mistakes, but there's a part of him that is good. Even Hawk sees that and he wants to do that, but Twice is loyal. He is a very loyal guy and he is loyal to the villains. So he has to do this, and Hawk knows if he can't stop Twice here, then this whole mission is in jeopardy, and he does it. And with that, an emotional moment of a villain, a freaking villain. I was mourning a villain's death potentially more than anything in this entire arc. And that was the start of it. That's what I mean. This single moment just set the stage for what we can expect for the rest of this. We're meeting Mirko for the first time, the bunny rabbit girl that I'm sure there's a lot of Sims for. And she has like a solo mission trying to find the dock, and her moment is so cool, not just because of like she does, what we love, which is the anime moments where she goes, above and beyond. And I've told people when Midoriya goes 1,000,000% against Muscle Man, I did not like that. Like everybody thought like, why didn't you react to that moment? I didn't care for it. Like I don't like moments like that where people just go above and beyond because somebody's in trouble. But Mirko, she gives a great reason, which is her motto for life. She lives every day as if it's her last one. And if this is her last day in this moment of great importance, she is she's living like it's her last day. So she is going like not beyond, but she's just literally pushing herself as if it's her last day. And that's a powerful message and a believable reason as to how she's not only going far in this moment, but has gotten so far to become the number 5. It instantly made her such a cool character, and I hope that she's not permanently out of commission because, boy, she's awesome. But that leads to one of the greatest moments of My Hero Academia, honestly, Shigaraki's awakening. When Shigaraki wakes up, that is the epitome of tensity, because again, it sets that tone, it sets that stage of anything can happen here. He literally wakes up and causes so much death and destruction, and we even see like one of the top 10 get caught up in it. Like Eraser was almost done. He was about to go, and then dude, like that's what I mean. That single moment, the reason it's so significant is that it sets not only the stage for this fight, but it shows how much of a drastic threat that Shigaraki is now, and why they're going to need a lot of people to work together, but not even work together. It's like, how do you stop this man? We can't. And knowing that he is going after Midoriya right away, he is chasing after the MC character. This is bad, but that led to one of the best things about this arc, which is naturally getting Midoriya involved. Because I didn't want Midoriya just to be like, oh no, people are in trouble, let's jump in. He is actively involved, and he is actually a tool to make this plot move forward because Shigaraki is after him. That's what is so great about it. He doesn't jump in just to be a hero like he usually is. He is jumping in because he knows he can be a diversion. He can be a decoy. He can distract. He can lead Shigaraki away from causing more death and destruction. And not only that, freaking Bakugou following him to do this, and he's the only one that knows. He is the only one that knows why this is happening, why Shigaraki's after Midoriya, and why Midoriya to his classmates is just leaving out of nowhere. It's freaking genius to me. It's a great writing element that really also we're going to have a moment with Bakugou later. And then we are just in cliffhanger after cliffhanger. Speaking of the tensity, literally, we see Jet Boots' old man, I forget his name, gosh dang it, gets smacked. We end an episode with freaking Eraser getting shot. We end another episode with Bakugou just getting impaled, like cliffhanger after cliffhanger moments. There is no moment during this entire war arc, this battle, that I ever felt safe, that I ever felt anybody was safe. And that's what makes it so great. That's what makes it such a compelling thing. When you know characters can die, and when you know there are stakes at hand, and that those stakes are very possible for the heroes to lose, it just makes it so much damn more engaging. And Bakugou having that Sasuke moment where his body just reacts, it's kind of ironic because literally that is one of the first episodes of the show where Midoriya's body just reacts to go save Bakugou. And now Bakugou is doing the same exact thing, which proves why in this show, Bakugou's not going to become like a Sasuke situation. He is a hero at heart. Yes, he is very violent. Yes, he is a big dick, but he is a hero at heart. And he is seeing his childhood friend. And also we get to know that. We get to know that there's a part of Bakugou that wants to redeem himself for how much he freaking was a jerk to Midoriya. Oh God, Mirio. Oh God, Mirio. I don't know how it feels to have Mirio back. I don't, because I loved him being the martyr. I literally have a video and it is the best anime. I don't like to plug myself into you guys, like, unless, you know, just I want to give you more content. But I have to say the video essay I did on Mirio is the proudest work I have ever done on either of my channels, honestly, in terms of video discussion things. Like it's so good. And if you watch that video, you know, Mirio is like my defining moment of My Hero Academia. I don't know. Like, I just felt like it was really sudden. They do have a little bit of build up to it and explain it. I kind of want it to be a bit more of a moment that like he is the star kind of a thing, instead of him just joining this fray of characters everywhere. So I'm happy about it. I just kind of also am a little bit biased in wanting a bigger moment for him specifically. His return specifically. Like if he already returned and this moment happened, then it would be great, but like it was still fine. And then the final big moment that I'm sure a lot of people, like, this was their most shocking moment of the season. And I have to admit, to me, the most shocking moment was the Bakugou cliffhanger. That was my most shocking moment. It was not freaking Dabi. Dabi's reveal as a Todoroki is it would have been one of the biggest twists I have ever seen if I didn't get that spoiled. And I understand why I got it spoiled. It's because I love My Hero Academia, so I'm going to get thrown thumbnails and everything and just see stuff, very unfortunately. And if I didn't see that, though, I would have been like, bro, this makes sense. He's got the blue eyes. He's got the abilities. Holy shit. But the thing to me that makes it a lot more special, like in terms of just the writing, the drama, and the tensity, as I say, is he had a plan to make this battle and this, just the stakes of this, again, through the roof. He brings in politics. He brings in the mental warfare, not only to like break Endeavor, but also releasing this tape revealing his identity. And that single thing that he did made this arc absolutely fantastic. Because then we deal with the end result, the aftermath. And yes, while they captured a lot of these villains, we just, you know, shortly we'll find out that it just kind of all went to shit and didn't really matter in the end. But that's just what happens in war. War isn't about the good guys always winning. Sometimes they'll win, but they'll win the battle, but in the end they lose the war. And that's basically what happened here. The biggest aftermath moment of this that sets the tone for the future of My Hero Academia, and this is why I am actually on a bit of a high with My Hero Academia, finally, after so long, is the hero that wants a new career. There's so much madness, there's so much destruction to deal with, and you see Otaku and other heroes, like, they're all trying to figure it out and save as many people as they can, and then there's just one person that it's just too much, and he's like, I might have to get a new job. When the world falls on your shoulders like that and you see so much death and destruction like this, it can break people, absolutely. And then after this whole Dabi situation, it's breaking the public more. We're in a state now that the world is changing, not because of like the battle, but because of the emotional battle that happened. Dabi's reveal and this destruction, and most likely at any point now, we're going to have the truth of One for All and All for One be revealed to people, because that's going to have to come out after what happened here. The world is changing in a way that it doesn't matter that Midoriya might become a broken freaking powerhouse, which is one of my biggest concerns after season 5. When he had all those quirks start coming out, and that's a new thing that he can explore. I thought that's interesting in terms of Midoriya, But at the same time, it's very concerning because he's going to become a broken, powerful being. That's a plug into a future video I want to make about Mob Psycho and how that show handles a broken human being fantastically in terms of power. But now the world that Midoriya is going to have to deal with, his power is not going to mean that much because of how much, non-physical changes have happened. This arc in My Hero Academia is the end game of Avengers. There's a lot of folks that will say this is the best arc of My Hero Academia. So as an anime-only watcher, I'm going to tell you right now that this season is freaking great. Animation be damned. Tension, stakes, characters, storytelling will always triumph over animation that isn't super duper top tier. I understand how there are some manga readers that are mad about that, but I'm telling you, man, as an anime only watcher, I did not care. But if you want to watch that Mirio video or any other videos that are pretty deep or have enjoyed this content, check out that video and consider subscribing. And don't forget to be geek proud awesome.